Hello everyone, welcome to Business School 101. A business entity is essentially an organization formed by one or more individuals with the purpose of conducting business, trade, or similar activities. There exists a variety of business entity types, including sole proprietorships, partnerships, LLCs, corporations, and more. The specific type of business entity selected not only shapes the structure of the organization, but also determines how the business is taxed. So what are the most common types of business entities in the United States, and what are their respective advantages and disadvantages? Furthermore, which types of businesses are best suited for each of these entities? In this video, I will discuss these questions with you. Type 1. Sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship is the simplest form of business organization where a single individual owns and operates the business. It's not a separate legal entity from the owner, and business income and expenses are reported on the owner's personal tax return. The owner has unlimited personal liability for the business's debts and legal obligations. Sole proprietorship's major advantages include: Number 1. Simplicity. Easy and inexpensive to start and operate. Number 2. Control. The owner has full control over the business. Number 3. Tax benefits. Profits and losses are reported on the owner's personal tax return, simplifying taxation. However, its disadvantages include: Number 1. Unlimited liability. The owner is personally liable for business debts and lawsuits. Number 2. Limited access to capital. Limited ability to raise capital through investors or loans. Number 3. Limited expertise. Relying on the owner's skills and knowledge may limit business growth. Common businesses form sole proprietorship include: freelance services, such as graphic design, writing, web development, small retail shops, such as boutique clothing stores, local cafes, and independent consultants, such as marketing consultants, life coaches, etc. Type 2. Partnership. A partnership is a business structure where two or more individuals or entities, partners, collaborate to run a business. Partners share the management responsibilities, profits, and losses. There are two main types: general partnerships, where all partners have unlimited liability, and limited partnerships, LPs, which include both general and limited partners with different liability and management roles. Partnerships' major advantages are: Number 1. Shared responsibility. Partners can bring different skills, knowledge, and resources to the business. Number 2. Tax benefits. Profits and losses pass through to the partner's personal tax returns. Number 3. Ease of formation. Relatively simple to create with a partnership agreement. However, its disadvantages include: Number 1. Unlimited liability for general partners. General partners have unlimited personal liability. Number 2. Conflict potential. Disagreements among partners can lead to conflicts. Number 3. Shared profits. Profits must be shared among partners, potentially limiting individual earnings. Common businesses that form partnerships include: law firms, accounting firms, medical practices, architecture firms, and real estate agencies. Type 3. Limited liability company, LLC. A limited liability company, LLC, is a hybrid business structure that offers limited liability protection to its members, owners, while providing flexibility in management and taxation. An LLC is a separate legal entity from its members, which means members' personal assets are generally protected from business liabilities. It can choose to be taxed as a sole proprietorship, partnership, or C corporation, etc., depending on the member's preferences. The advantages of LLC include: Number 1. Limited liability. Members' personal assets are protected from business debts and lawsuits. Number 2. Flexibility. Members can choose how the LLC is taxed, and management structures can be tailored to the needs of the business. Number 3. Pass-through taxation. Profits and losses can pass through to members' personal tax returns. However, its disadvantages include: Number 1. Administrative requirements. Some paperwork and filing are required. Number 2. Membership restrictions. Some states may have restrictions on who can be a member. Number 3. Limited life. In many states, the LLC's existence is limited to a specified period or event. Common businesses that form LLCs include: small businesses, such as restaurants, small manufacturing companies, real estate investment companies, creative agencies, such as advertising, design, marketing, consulting firms, and online businesses, such as e-commerce stores, digital content creators. Type 4. S Corporation. An S corporation is a tax designation rather than a specific business structure. It allows a business to avoid double taxation by passing profits and losses through to individual shareholders, who report them on their personal tax returns. S corporations have strict eligibility criteria, including a limit on the number and types of shareholders, and are subject to certain administrative and regulatory requirements. S corporations' advantages include: Number 1. Limited liability. Shareholders have limited personal liability. Number 2. Pass-through taxation. Profits and losses are reported on shareholders' personal tax returns. Number 3. Attractiveness to investors. Easier to attract investors compared to a sole proprietorship or general partnership. However, its disadvantages include: Number 1. Eligibility requirements. Strict eligibility criteria, including a limit on the number and types of shareholders. Number 2. Tax complexity. Requires adherence to specific tax regulations and reporting. Number 3. Limited flexibility. Restrictions on the number and types of shareholders can limit growth. Common businesses that form S corporations include: small to mid-sized businesses in various industries, professional services firms, family-owned businesses, and retail chains. Type 5. C Corporation. A C corporation is a distinct legal entity from its shareholders. It offers limited liability protection to shareholders, and it is subject to corporate taxation. This means that corporate profits are taxed at the corporate level, and any dividends or distributions to shareholders are also taxed on their personal tax returns. C corporations have no restrictions on the number or types of shareholders and can attract investors by issuing stock. The advantages of C corporation include: Number 1. Limited liability. Shareholders have limited personal liability. Number 2. Attracting investors. Ideal for businesses seeking to raise capital through the sale of stock. Number 3. Unlimited growth potential. No restrictions on the number or types of shareholders. However, its disadvantages include: Number 1. Double taxation. Corporate profits are taxed at the corporate level, and shareholders are taxed on dividends. Number 2. Complexity. Involves more regulatory requirements and administrative burdens. Number 3. Potential for conflicts. Shareholders may have varying interests that lead to conflicts. Common business use C corporations include: large corporations, such as Fortune 500 companies, tech companies, such as Apple, Google, retail giants, such as Walmart, Amazon, and multinational corporations. Type 6. Nonprofit corporation. A nonprofit corporation is a legal structure created for purposes other than generating profits for its members or owners. Nonprofits are typically organized for charitable, religious, educational, scientific, or other community-oriented goals. They can apply for tax-exempt status, and any profits generated must be reinvested in pursuit of their mission. Advantages of nonprofit corporation include: Number 1. Tax benefits. Nonprofits are typically tax-exempt. Number 2. Eligibility for grants. Eligible for grants and donations from foundations and government agencies. Number 3. Mission-driven. Allows for the pursuit of charitable, educational, or other non-commercial goals. However, its disadvantages include: Number 1. Regulatory compliance. Subject to specific regulations and reporting requirements. Number 2. Limited profit distribution. Profits cannot be distributed to individuals, but must be used to further the nonprofit's mission. Number 3. Complex governance. Governance structures and decision-making may be complex due to the involvement of multiple stakeholders. Common businesses that form nonprofit corporations include: charitable organizations, such as American Red Cross, educational institutions, such as universities, schools, religious organizations, such as churches, mosques, and healthcare foundations, such as hospitals, and research foundations. Type 7. Cooperative. A cooperative is a business organization owned and democratically governed by its members, who may be customers, employees, or other businesses. Cooperatives aim to meet their members' needs or goals, and typically distribute profits based on participation or patronage. Decision-making in cooperatives often involves a democratic process. The advantages of cooperative include: Number 1. Democratic control. Members have a say in the business's operations and decisions. Number 2. Shared profits. Profits are often distributed based on participation rather than capital investment. Number 3. Mutual support. promotes collaboration and community within the membership. However, its disadvantages include: Number 1. Complex governance. Decision-making can be more time-consuming and may involve consensus building. Number 2. Limited access to capital. Cooperative members may have limited ability to raise outside capital. Number 3. Member engagement. Requires active involvement and commitment from members. Common businesses form cooperatives include: consumer cooperatives, such as grocery stores, credit unions; worker cooperatives, such as co-op cafes; manufacturing cooperatives; housing cooperatives, such as housing associations, co-op apartments; and agricultural cooperatives, such as farming co-ops and dairy co-ops. Last, summary. To sum up, a business entity is a legally recognized organization that is formed to engage in commercial, financial, or industrial activities. The choice of business entity should align with the business's goals, the level of personal liability the owners are willing to assume, and their specific operational and tax needs. It's essential to consult with legal and financial professionals to make an informed decision that best suits the business's unique circumstances. All right, that's all for today's topic. If you have any questions regarding this video, please leave your thoughts in a comment below. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.